So there is this new opportunity inside the music industry that successful music creators already picked up and are using to add thousands of extra dollars to their income and helping them turn music into their full-time income. For example, Andrew Wong wrote a book, Jacob Collier is running a Patreon of almost 5,000 members, and Kygo is teaching an electronic music production class on studio.com. Why? Because they understand that leveraging social media and the online world in this day and age is a goldmine for music artists. So in this video, I want to dive deep into their strategy, the strategy that they're using, so that you can use it and apply it for yourself. Now, people like Kygo, Jacob Collier, and Andrew Wong, they have huge audiences, so they are not very relatable. So this is why for this video, I am not going to use them. I'm going to use people like you and I that have a way smaller audience that you might not know of, so that you can understand that one, you don't need millions of followers or a huge audience to make a full-time income from your music online, and two, that you can do it too. If you're thinking that when I say people like you and I, but you think I have a huge audience, sure, it might look like this for you because you don't have that audience yet. But in the world of social media, 48,000 followers on Instagram or 40,000 on YouTube still is less than 100k followers total. So I'm still considered in the social media world a micro-influencer. So again, in the world of social media, there is way more that can be achieved. This is not that big. Obviously, I'm very proud of it, but just to make you realize that it's still nothing that is unachievable. So as you can see, the advantage in being a micro-influencer is that your audience, as small as it is highly engaged, you are experienced in your market, and it's a niche audience. And this is exactly what we want and what we are going to leverage. Those are very important, so keep that in mind for the rest of the video. So in this video, we will learn why the biggest music creators are using social media channels to promote their music services and products, the 3 biggest problems with Spotify and gigs, my favorite part, and then we will also break down how you can use this strategy to grow your own fan base and make more sales. Alright, so let's start with the 3 biggest problems with Spotify and gigs as to why music creators are going away from Spotify and gigs more and more. The first one is that it's a very little pay per stream. I'm sorry, but Spotify, in my opinion, really doesn't respect artists. They wouldn't be Spotify without artists, and paying 0.004 per stream is completely unrespectful. Or disrespectful? Disrespectful in English. So with a pay like this, it would take you 420,000 streams to make $1,000. Super hard as an independent artist, and it still wouldn't be enough to make a full-time income to cover your bills. So that means that it's really hard to make a full-time income just through streams. Number 2 is that it is quite risky and not safe because they can decide to remove your songs out of nowhere. If you take the example of Kara, it happened to her recently. She's invested 100k in creating her album, and Spotify deleted it because they thought that she bought fake streams, which she didn't, and she lost all of it. She tried to complain, she tried, to put a claim, and they wouldn't hear it, so it really sucks. Basically, all her hard work and all her money, like monthly income that she would get from her streams, got cut in more than half, just like that. So it is very risky because it's not something that you own, whereas you should own your own music. I'll put the link to all the resources that I'm sharing today in the description so that if you want to watch that video or check anyone that I'm referencing, you can do that. And then number 3 is that this lifestyle doesn't fit everyone. For example, doing gigs is an absolute no-no for me. You can be a morning person, maybe you don't like clubs and bars, maybe you're an introvert. There are plenty of reasons that would make you not wanting to be a touring artist. So it just doesn't fit for everyone. And being a touring artist isn't the only way to succeed in the music industry. Now, the good news for us is that there is a new opportunity. It is being a music creator. To me, the way that I describe being a music creator is where you make music and a full-time income from the comfort of your own home by leveraging the power of social media to basically attract all your perfect clients, customers, or students, depending on what you want to do to monetize your music skills and knowledge. Also, if you're wanting to go more in depth and get my help to grow your social media and get more sales, clients, students, whatever you want, there is a word that I will put on screen. Just shoot me a DM or shoot me an email and I'll get you some more information, see if we're a good fit and see if I can help. All right, now let's analyze 4 music creators so that we can see how you can use this strategy to grow your fan base and make more sales. So the first one I want to look at is my buddy Severman. He has about 31k subscribers on YouTube and not that much on Instagram because he's mostly focused on YouTube. He's been making videos for a very long time. He has 254 videos. I think they go back to a few years, 8 years ago even. And that's very important. This is why I'm pointing out this in this first person. So if we look into his videos, he's doing mostly tutorials about EDM, progressive house, things like that, like remakes. And then if you go dig into his video's description, you can see that the first links are his FLPs, aka his digital products, that he sells for 20 euros plus. And he also has a call to action for mixing, mastering, ghost production services, and he also has that on Fiverr. So he has a few different marketing channels. He has the YouTube with the links in the description, the CTAs in the videos like you probably saw, and he also has a Fiverr gig. So the key takeaway here is that what I want to show you is that he showcases his work. He showcases what he can do, what he knows, his skills, through doing the tutorials and the videos where he does remakes of very famous songs like Martin Garrix. And he's targeting one very specific niche, the progressive house producers. And he does this to attract his perfect ideal client and customer, because the beginners might need mixing and mastering to make their production stand out, or some other people might just want ghost production by him. Alright, now moving on to the next one, it is my friend Cheska. So this one's very interesting because, as you can see, she has only 1,710 subscribers on YouTube. She has about 2.6k on Instagram, so same thing, a very, very small audience. Yet she's still a full-time composer and educator. And so she posts a lot of videos about her journey, her learnings, updates on what she's been up to, and then a few educational videos about how she is getting work through filmmakers, how she's contacting filmmakers to help fellow composers. And as you can see, there's really not a lot of views, as per what you would say, in all of her videos, yet because it is very, very targeted to a very specific person, it attracts the right person for her and her services. So as I was saying, she does commission work as a composer for film and TV, but she also does some coaching, mentoring, and she has an agency for composers to connect with filmmakers. In terms of marketing, she just uses the link in the descriptions like we saw with Severman, but then she uses Instagram a lot for DMs and stories. So she does a lot of stories to show the behind the scenes, and she DMs and network a lot with potential clients, filmmakers, students, all of that, and she also creates an email list. So the key takeaway that I want you to take here is that she is half music composer and half educator. She has lots of music projects, music work during the spring-summer season when it's like film festival season, but then in the low season, she does a lot of coaching, mentoring, so that she can still support her passion. So what I want you to take here is that even if she is an educator, she still hasn't lost her passion for music and she still does work for music. Or music for work. Alright, and then we have Emeche. So maybe you know him, he has a bit of a bigger audience. He has about 62k subscribers on YouTube, and he also has an Instagram, but his Instagram is really not being used. So we don't care about this, again, just YouTube. What I like with Emeche is that it is very simple. All of his videos are him making music from scratch. I'm releasing whatever I make in this video. Why drones are my favorite thing about music production. I made a remix, how to make progressive house from nothing to a banger. He just makes music in all his videos that are also entertaining for anyone that is passionate of EDM, that produces EDM, to watch. And then the only thing he sells are preset and sample packs. So if we go to his website, which he has in the About section here and in all of his videos, it's a bunch of sample and preset packs. That's all he has, right? All around maybe 30 to 60, 70 euros, I believe. But the trick here is that in every single video that he makes music, he only uses his own sample and presets. He never uses someone else's or splice, presets and samples. He always uses his own. Meaning that in every single video, he showcases his work. And because it attracts, again, the right specific audience that he wants, they are going to go buy his packs because they want to sound like him, because they want the sounds that he made. It's just a perfect strategy. Because every single video has very natural, organic, and authentic call to actions to buy his preset and sample packs. It's genius, really. And again, if we look at it, like, sure, 12K per video, 17K is it's very, it can be impressive, but in the world of social media, it's not that much, right? With consistency, again, you can get it. 209 videos, right? Okay, and then the last example that I want to show you is one of my music creator students, one of my most successful students. His name is Raya. He has about 14K subscribers on YouTube. When we started working together, he had just about 10, I think. And he recently just quit his job in June. So congrats to him. But what he does is he does mainly coaching. So he has a 12-week coaching program for R&B producers. He also has a school community really, where he does like live Q&As, live workshops, things like that. And he has a few courses as well. But as you can see in his videos, he's very, very specific into alternative R&B music. So dark R&B, alternative R&B, right? R&B chords simplified. He's very like alternative hip hop, a little bit of a variation, but very focused to R&B so that he attracts the producers that are interested in learning R&Bs, right? So then it's very organic and natural for them that the people that want to learn from him because they think he's really good and they want shortcuts, they just buy his coaching program or enter his community, grab his courses. Again, one offer, very specific target audience, very specific niche. You attract, you do the call to actions into your videos. He puts links into his description. If we check out his last video, there you go. The Ultimate R&B Suite, so that's his sample pack as well, and Producer Mastery Mentorship, his 12-week mentoring program, right? He has call to actions for all of that in his links in the description. Now, he also curates an email list because he's listened to my advice. Then on top of that, because he has an active YouTube channel, he also does a bunch of brand deals because that's what he wants. And the key takeaway that I wanted you to take here is that making money through coaching and sponsorships is a great way so that he can make music all day long for his own career or his YouTube videos. Basically, making money through coaching and sponsorships that you might think isn't related to the music itself is actually what helps him and what allows him to make music all day long. Like every day he makes music for him or for his YouTube videos and he's having fun, and that's what matters. But anyway, I wanted to wrap up this video with a few key lessons, aka patterns that I've identified in every single successful music creator while doing this research. So number one is start sharing your work on social media. Like, they are all very loud on social media sharing their work, talent, and skills. If no one knows what you can do, no one will come to you. Like, you cannot just sit, wait, and hope that someone reaches out because you're good. You gotta show up. Now, when it comes to social media, one thing that I wanted to point out is that they are all focused primarily on YouTube. In my opinion, that's also the best choice because YouTube is evergreen. It's not like Instagram when your video disappears after 2 days, 3 days, you're really in like the depth of Instagram. YouTube is evergreen. At any point, someone can find your video. Like 10 years from now, they can find your video still. It's also a searchable content. At the core, YouTube is not a social media platform, it's a search engine. So this is why it's super, super, super good so that you can always attract leads is if you go for SEO. And that's something that I go in depth in the course Music Creator. If you want, there's a link in the description to join. We've just opened. But the second thing is they repurpose everything from their YouTube to the short form content platforms. They also do some originals, but it allows them to be present on more platforms than just one by not doing any more work. They just repurpose that long form into short form content. And the strategy that they're using is pretty much just documenting their journey. Like they learn, they're creating, they're experimenting. Instead of waiting until you're an expert, just learn something and share it. Learn something, share it. Learn something, share it. It's as simple as that. Like, they all started years ago, if not a decade ago on some. This is also not overnight success, as we saw 8 years ago for Severman. MHA, I think, is the same thing. And this is how they build trust with their audiences over time, because they keep showing up. Now, the goal is to build an audience of people who resonate with your process, story, and are highly interested in your music services and products. So basically, if you reverse engineer everything, when you start on social media, you gotta just start thinking like, okay, what do I want to sell? Who would be interested in what I have to sell? And then what would they be interested in seeing on social media? That's basically how it works. Again, I go more in depth into the music creator course if you want, but this is kind of like the idea. Now, the number 2 is that they diversify their income streams further than their music itself. So what I mean is that their music skills can create many different income streams if packaged smartly. As we saw, some creators have built multiple revenue channels. There's courses, sample packs, plugins, books, Patreon, sync licensing, sponsorships, merch, like there's so many of them, right? Now, one thing is that it does not mean that you need to do all of them at the same time. Please don't. This is mistake 101. Choose one, but then once that one is going on autopilot, it's going on strong, then you can add another one, but focus on one first. And then the last one is that they all focused on community over virality, especially if you take the example of Cheska. Like, they don't chase being viral artists, instead they nurture their engaged communities who buy from them repeatedly. So it's a smaller but loyal fan base that can out-earn millions of passive listeners on Spotify. And again, you don't need millions of followers, just a strong core community that really believes into what you do, that loves what you do, and want to learn from you, want to buy from you. That's simple. So in summary, this is what separates starving artists from successful creators. Starving artists refuse to leverage the modern tools. Like, they are stuck in the old ways of doing things and it just doesn't work anymore. Or at least not for a lot of people. But the successful music creators, they are focused on leveraging social media to buy back their time for their music skills and passion. And that's often something that most of you aren't ready to do. And if you can really get that mindset shift, it'll unlock a whole new world for you. Now again, you don't have to reverse engineer all those things by yourself. I can show you that step by step how to set up your own funnel. We just opened the doors for Music Creator today. You have 7 days. After that, we are closed. There are only a few limited spots, so there will be a link in the description if you want to apply and join. I hope to see you inside. In the meantime, keep learning and I'll see you in the next one.